Hello everyone, welcome to another episode of Ken's Travels. In today's episode, I want to talk to you about the haters. Now you may be asking, what exactly does hating have to do with traveling and going on vacations and trips? And the fact of the matter is, when you begin to travel, especially if you start to post it to social media, there are going to be a lot of people that's going to hate on you for absolutely no reason. But, unfortunately, that's what they do. So we're going to go into it in a little bit of detail in this episode. Some of the things that they like to say is that you're doing it for attention, you're showboating, you're flexing, things of that nature. And for some people that may be true. Like there may be someone who lives in Texas and comes across a background that looks like Italy, and they may start recording it, or they may take a picture and lie and say that they're in Italy. To me, that's something entirely different. Listen, at the end of the day, we live in a social media age. I don't think that there's any rules to this. This is something that's unprecedented and that we never dealt before in human history. But at the end of the day, it's social media and it's entertainment. I don't think that there's a rule book or a Bible for how we're supposed to carry and conduct ourselves on social media. So we make the rules as we go along, we live and we learn, and we figure things out. Now, I'm sure that there are some people who are doing things for attention. Same thing, like certain people will take their money and hold it up to their ear like a phone. Some people will be tossing money, flexing, bragging. I could be going on a trip and sitting there saying, while I'm sitting here chilling on a beach in Mykonos while y'all sitting in y'all mama's basement playing Nintendo. Never once have I said anything like that before to anyone, nor would I ever do that because I'm pretty humble. I try not to say or do things like that. I think something like that is totally inappropriate. But anyway, getting back to that, some of the other things that they'll do, they'll say that you need to live in the moment. You need to travel silently. You need to not post everything to social media. Hey, being fair and everybody having their opinion, some of that may be true. Sometimes when you go on a trip, you do need to live in the moment. You do need to just relax and enjoy yourself and just enjoy the trip. It's not always about videos and taking pics. You can travel silently without posting to social media. Some people say, if you are, post it after your trip or don't do it while you're on your trip because somebody may rob you. So there's a variety of things that are being said by people. When I first started taking the trips, I wasn't even really thinking about creating a vlog. I was just taking the pics and posting the pictures. Like it's Facebook, Instagram, especially Instagram. How can somebody say not to take and post pics on Instagram? That's the whole purpose of Instagram. Each person is different. And the thing is, while somebody might not like you posting travel pics, they may post pics of them in different hairstyles every day, or somebody else might always be ranting and raging and venting. There's a lot of different things that people do that's irritating on social media, but you still have to respect their right to do it. Sometimes I wonder, would you prefer if I showed you my eviction notice if I'm getting kicked out of my apartment? Would you prefer if I got on Facebook and told everybody, hey, I have cancer? Would you prefer, when you post negative or bad things or you rant and you rage, people have a problem with that. When you post happy things, sometimes people say you faking it or you flexing it. People have a problem with that. So no matter what you do, even on social media, no matter what you're doing, there's always going to be a critic. There's always going to be somebody that has something to say. I know for myself before and previously, I've done my own website before, I've done my own podcast before, and now I'm trying my hand at a YouTube channel. I like to try different things and I like to put myself out there. I'm not afraid to do those things, but there's a lot of other people who are, and they're miserable and they're going to project being miserable off on you. I know when I had the podcast before and we did about 11 episodes, and during that time we actually interviewed a couple celebrities. So things were going well, but it was just hard to get all of us together at the same time. So after a while we were just like, just forget it. Now here it is, I'm doing this YouTube channel by myself and we're already almost at 40 episodes. And it's mainly because I'm doing it by myself. I don't have to wait on or depend on other people or their time schedules, etc. But one of my friends one day sat there and said, oh yeah, I remember back when you used to do that little podcast of yours. Now, for me personally, I know anytime somebody, when they say the word little in front of something, they're really trying to downplay it or downgrade what you were doing. They're trying to minimize what it is that you were doing. Completely uncalled for, unnecessary. But that's what people do. So now, with that said, some of the things that we want to talk about is that a lot of these people are absolutely miserable. Anytime you're doing something that they're not doing, they have a problem with it. If you got a nice body and you're posting it on social media, they're going to have a problem with it because they may not have a nice body. Also, I can say for myself personally, and I kind of want to toe the line a little bit here, but I can say me, myself, as being African American, and I know this happens with all races, but I'm speaking about mine specifically. It's from my experience dealing with my own race. There's a lot of crabs in a barrel mentality, meaning that no matter what I'm doing in life, if you're not doing it, you get jealous. If I'm in that barrel with the rest of the crabs and I get accepted to college and I want to go off to college to better myself and my life, those people are going to be pulling me back down in that crate and barrel. If I'm working out and getting my body tight, somebody's going to say something like that. Whatever it is that you're doing, even if you're traveling, other people aren't traveling, they're going to have a problem with that too. No matter what you do, they're always going to have a problem with it. And basically, you just have to ignore those people. Now, for me, myself, my main Facebook, my main Twitter, and my main Instagram pages, I just deleted all of it. It's so toxic on all of that stuff sometimes. Like, people are just absolutely miserable. And I really do believe that social media is creating a bunch of monsters. It's lowering people's self-esteem. It's making people jealous, envious, bitter, and so on and so forth. Basically, when you start traveling or anything that you're doing outside of what everybody else is doing, you're going to learn how to find like-minded people. And sometimes that can be difficult, but there are ways to do it. So like now, travel is a passion of mine. It's something that I'm seriously into and I'm not going to stop. But if I'm around a bunch of people who don't travel or who don't understand travel, who don't care about travel or don't have the means or know how to travel, then they're not going to be the right people in my circle because this is something that I'm passionate about. And you can kind of see it sometimes when you're around said people. You can see it when you may talk about travel. Or I know one day one of my friends was at my house and they're like, you can see that map there in the background. And it's like, oh, I see you got your little map on the wall or whatever. And, you can just read body language and you can just tell and you can see when somebody's hating on it. And a lot of times the people that are hating on you, you actually got love for. You love these people. You care about these people. But if you're doing something that they're not doing, they have a problem with it. Or basically, if you're doing something that they're not doing, then they want you to just shut the F up about it, basically. And you don't have to because they're allowed to post what they want to post. They can do what they want to do. So you do what you want to do. And if they don't like it, then they can simply unfollow you. There's nothing worse than a hater who keeps wanting to be nebby and want to know what you're doing and on your page, but always has a problem with what you post. If you're around people who aren't supportive of what you do, then you have to reevaluate your friendships and decide if these are people that you want to be around. Because while they may not be supportive of you and what you do, they don't have to be negative either. You can just be neutral. You can just remain silent. I don't like everything that you do either. I don't like everything that you post either, but I respect your right to do it. And I'm not going to necessarily hate unless you're posting something crazy, like I said, a suicide note, or, when we all have our little breakdowns at times, because mental health can be something that's real. So basically moving along, if you want to travel silently, that's your business. If you want to broadcast it, that's your business. If you want to do a vlog, that's your business. If you want to live in the moment, that's your business. But don't let anybody else tell you how it is that you have to travel. And you have to learn to cut people off. It's as simple as that. As you change, if you are a mature adult, and then if you're learning and growing from experiences in life, you're going to start to evolve. And if those people can't evolve with you, they don't necessarily have to, but you don't need them to tear you down either. And if they have a problem with everything that you're doing, and again, this isn't just about travel, this is about anything that you're doing in life. If they're not growing with you or if they're not being supportive of you, then you need to reevaluate your friendships. Because a lot of times what happens is the more you're around people that you know and love, whether it's friends or family, they take you for granted. And whether it's doing a podcast, whether it's the YouTube channel, whatever it might be, a lot of times you'll find complete strangers are more supportive of you than your own friends or family. I'm not with the negativity. I'm not with the projection. If you're miserable, don't throw that off on me, because at the end of the day, you could be perfectly fine. But sometimes miserable people can make you miserable, and then they'll go around and tell that you're the miserable person. And it's actually them that are miserable, and you're just miserable being around them. So that's all I wanted to make this is about. Just tell you, if you are thinking of traveling or if you are traveling, do what it is that you want. Do what it is that you love, and do what it is that makes you happy. I have a brother that has 2 sons, and every minute he's taking them to different states, taking them to different places. They're always traveling and doing things, and people don't understand how valuable and how important that is. He's given them, especially as African Americans, if you're living in the hood, things like that, all you know sometimes is like selling drugs, gang banging, the streets aren't safe. There's so much toxicity and poison in our neighborhood sometimes. And if you can teach somebody that there's more to life than that, there's a whole world out here to explore and to do, and that you just don't have to sit in your basement, for example, smoking weed all day. And I'm not knocking that. That's what you want to do, fine. But we can also expand the horizons too. When I was going to go to Africa, I was going to take a surfboarding class. And what was some people's reactions? You want to take a surfboarding class? That's for white people. And it's like, what does that even mean? What do you mean it's for white people? It's for anybody that wants to surf. Like you're being limited by your mindset or by your environment that's telling you that you can't be something greater than this bubble that you're inside of. And that's just simply not true. So again, as I was saying, do what it is that you want to do, whatever your passion is, no matter what it is. I don't care if you're a black male in the hood and you want to do ballet. If that's what you want to do, then do it. Don't let anybody else kill your dreams or take your passions away from you. This is Ken with another episode of Ken's Travels. And until the next time, safe travels.